Good afternoon and welcome to the Snakebite. I'm George Connolly.
And I'm Andrew Pauling, and here's what happened in the last week in Moccasin athletics. In cross-country news, Mason Jones and Josh Wagner finished second and fourth individually as the men's team came in third in the 2019 SSC Championships. Jones finished with a time of 25 minutes and 35.4 seconds, finishing 10.4 seconds behind conference champion Shane Bracken of St. Leo. The women's team also took third place as 5 mocks finished in the top 20. Sarah Zamat was the first mock to finish, placing third overall with a time of 22 minutes and 39 seconds, a new personal record. Both squads will compete in the NCAA South Regional Championship on November 9th at Holloway Park right here in Lakeland.
The women's soccer team split their 2 games this week, picking up a 1-0 win against Eckerd on Wednesday before being shut out in a 1-0 loss against Barry on Saturday. The win against Eckerd was their first conference win of the season for the team, as senior Alexa Moberly scored in the 66th minute, giving the Mocs all the offense they needed to pick up the victory. The team will wrap up their regular season with 3 consecutive road games. They take on Embry-Riddle tonight, St. Leo on Saturday, and Tampa next Wednesday. All 3 games are scheduled to start at 7 p.m. and are available to be streamed on the SSC Digital Network.
On the men's side, the Mocs improved their record to 4-4-5 on the season after recording a tie against Eckerd in a 2-2 game on Wednesday and defeating Mary University on Saturday by a final of 2-1. Anton Lindbaum returned to action and scored the game-winning goal against Mary after sitting out for the past month with an injury. The Mocs had a new-look lineup in that game as the team rested several of their regular starters for their last non-conference game of the season. Head coach Jason Carlson said, quote, "These guys gave us confidence and they got the minutes they deserved, that's for sure," end quote, in reference to his young group of starters.
The volleyball team dropped a pair of weekend matches as the Mocs were defeated by Barry on Friday and Palm Beach Atlantic on Saturday. In the PBA match, Allie Travis and Courtney Charnecko both had career days on the court. Travis electrified the crowd with a 22-kill performance while adding 13 digs on defense. Charnecko had 9 blocks on the day, the most by a Moc in a match this season. In total, there were 25 lead changes throughout the closely contested 4-set matchup. The girls will spend this weekend on the road as they will take on Florida Tech at 7 p.m. on Friday and Embry-Riddle at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Women's basketball traveled to Tallahassee on Sunday to take on the Florida State Seminoles in a preseason exhibition matchup. Our own Jillian Kurtz has more on this story.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Harris here in the Jenkins Fieldhouse. And Coach, how do you think playing under such bright lights in a big arena helped prepare the team for this upcoming season?
I don't know if we'd be under any more pressure that we were last night, but I thought the girls handled it really well. It was a fun atmosphere. I was really glad that the girls were able to experience that. If anything, it should help us for the season, for them to be able to play against, Florida State is ranked 11th in the nation, and they only lost to UConn by 1 point last year, and they have the whole team back. So I thought we handled it really well.
And what are some positives that you saw from the team, and how will you continue to build on those throughout the upcoming season?
The biggest positive is just on how they handled it, how they handled themselves. We were able to play at their level, even though they're stronger, they're more athletic. We still were able to keep up with them speed-wise. So if the girls can see how they did against Florida State with playing at that level, I think if we can carry that on to the season, it should really help us out.
And Mackenzie Steele dropped 14 points against FSU. How will her role evolve throughout this season?
I'm really hoping this gave her a lot of confidence, because the way she was coming off those staggered screens and she was going full speed, Florida State was really having to work to guard Mackenzie. So those that were guarding her, I'm sure they were tired, which is a really good thing. So I'm really just hoping this builds for Mackenzie, because this is something that we were all hoping for her, and just hoping that she can be one of our leaders and one of our leading scorers for the season.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Coach. Good luck with your upcoming season, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, Jillian. The girls open up their regular season with a pair of home games on November 8th and 9th against Alabama Huntsville and Lee, respectively.
Ice hockey has fought their way to a .500 record, winning their third consecutive game after starting out their season with 3 straight losses. The Mocs defeated the Florida Tech Panthers by a final of 4-0, shutting out their opponent for the first time this season. Christian Nichols had 2 goals during the highly physical matchup that saw 19 penalties issued between both teams. Jake Commissar and Jamie Calhoun also scored for the Mocs, while Logan Cody had 19 saves in goal. The team has a light schedule this upcoming month with just 2 games in November, as they will play at the Lakeland Ice Arena on November 11th and the 16th. Things pick back up in the winter for the team with 5 games in the month of December and January, as well as February. Now, Andrew, what were your thoughts over a lot of the home games throughout this weekend?
Well, women's soccer, they had a lot of rain during their game. They played hard. It was downpouring pretty seriously during the pregame and the first few minutes of that matchup, so good for them. And then ice hockey finally looked a lot more cohesive as a team. Starting off the season with 3 losses is obviously not the start that they wanted, but now the 3 consecutive wins is huge for them, and they really were passing the ball well. They looked a lot more comfortable on the ice in front of the crowd than we had seen them in the past. Men's soccer did what they were supposed to do, picked up a win in a non-conference game, and then women's basketball on Sunday, we traveled to Tallahassee for that. That was a lot of fun to watch. The girls struggled a little bit early in the game, but picked things up in the second half and ended up competing very well throughout the course of that matchup, as we heard Coach Harris say earlier.
And baseball did release their schedule for the spring, and the Mocs play at Henley Field 23 times this season. What do you think fans can look forward to?
Henley Field's awesome. It is. It's a very old stadium, a lot of history there. The Mocs have their 9 national championships playing in that stadium. It's very well kept. The team is going to be good this year. They struggled last year after winning the South Region 2 years ago, and I expect things to really turn around. They have a lot of impact transfers this year, as well as a strong class of freshmen to go along with that returning core that they have, and I expect things to go well in those 23 games.
And now men's and women's soccer team are heading into their final week of regular season play. Let's talk about their outlook heading into the postseason.
Postseason's going to be big for both these teams. They haven't done incredibly well in the win column. The men's team with those 5 ties hurts a little bit. You'd like to have seen a couple of those ties turn into wins. Being able to rest their starters on the men's side this past weekend is huge for them. They get everyone that extra day off from competition, let some bumps and bruises, which at this point in the season, everyone has. So it's good that they had that opportunity to rest those guys this late in the season and give them an extra couple of days off going into postseason play.
Absolutely. Well, those are some great insights, Andrew. Thank you very much. And that's all from us this week at the Snakebite. I'm George Connolly.
And I'm Andrew Pauling, and we'll see you guys back next week at 3 o'clock.